Hey there, I thought I would do an infantry day with the Americans before I leave them alone. So I just hit 300 subscribers, and like I did for the 200 subscribers, I thought I'd address some comments and engage a little bit more, but I'll put that at the end of the video if you want to see that. What I've done is I've gone ahead to day 12, I've skipped day 11. I needed that research point so I could get the M1A1 bazooka crew, because we'll need them if we don't have placements all around. We're bringing a panzer nest just to create a focal point so that the enemy shoot at that. However, this is day 12, so I've seen Marder 2s and KP4s. I doubt this will last very long, so we're going to find out. I've preemptively loaded everyone with smoke because we'll need that, and shovels. And we've got 4 engineers just to help us constrain the map, and I'm bringing quad mounts. We're going to see if these survive. Hopefully I can find a place for them. Unfortunately, this is map Hill 331, which is not the greatest, to be honest. It's quite tricky. Maybe not as bad as the hills, but it's a tough map. So we've got 4 engineers and 3 sets of infantry. Our veteran crew will sit back. And then our 45th Rifle Division, which is kind of like the cheap tier, although the quality is really good. And then 4 M1A1 bazookas to sit at key points. I might just bring another engineer. Okay, let's get rolling. Alright, let's spawn in and have a look at the map. It's a night mission. This is going to be interesting. Let's have a look at the spots. Oh, this is convenient. Everything is really close by. So this can make things a lot easier for us. So they're all coming in from the east. And as far as picking points, well, they're all right next to each other. So it makes the defense a lot easier than normally. The points can be further apart. Probably take point A. We can put a choke point over here somewhere. This is all to do with pathing, so I'm trying to get a sense of what the AI is going to do if I block certain things off. So if I put the choke point here, the AI on the southeast is actually just going to go around and subvert whatever I do. We don't want that. We want everything to be viable from all points. So we want whatever the calculations are for pathing to get the shortest distance to all points. And luckily all the points are close together. So actually I like this because they have cover. So the enemy have to come over this hill. I think that's what we're going to do. But infantry will also be streaming this way. I'll make a plan. I'm going to go away and set up, and I will be back in a moment. Alright, it's about to go down. So what I've done is I've set up a massive line tank traps to block off the northeast all along here. They are all done. This is the choke point, so, and this barbed wire hasn't been done. I only noticed now. It's quite hard to see in the dark. So all the vehicles are going to come up here, and we've got a lot of chaff. Our 45th Division is sitting here with smoke grenades. We've got our veterans up here with our RPGs. Okay, get in the hole, please. Up here, a Browning. Then what's going to happen is because the vehicles are going to go the other way, the infantry are going to carry on pathing through the tank traps, and they'll be greeted by a Browning here, another Browning here to cut the road because they're going to pop through here. And this one's going to largely cover this area. Then we've got a quad mount in case that fails. So there's no vehicles coming this way. It's largely just infantry. And then we've got 2 M1A1s sitting here. So when they run out of ammo, because I didn't have enough time to recharge everyone's ammo, these guys will roll in. I had to give them extra smoke grenades as well. Okay, we lost an engineer. Okay, everyone get down. This he's got to get that last piece of barbed wire done. Okay, it's done. Good. Run. Okay. No, that's not how it's supposed to go. Stop firing. Oh, we've got a panzer nest right here. So as they climb over the hill, they will get shot. Alright, let's... You don't have your RPG. We need to drop smoke. Drop smoke. Drop smoke. There we go. Oh, our defenders have got RPGs. Yep, that one's sorted. think. No, he's not. I need to do another shot. Come on, come on, come on. Get the shot off. Okay. Drop another smoke. Thank you. That's a lot of range. How far was that? Okay, let's get more smoke going. Okay, who's got tank grenades? Anyone? No. Where's my rocket bro? There he is. Get off the quad. Get off the quad. Get in the trench. I see they are coming around. I'm gonna need a backup crew. Let's take these guys. Yeah. Anyone can drop smoke? No. This will get taken out pretty quickly, I think. Where are the bazooka boys? Okay, I need to get a smoke grenade up there. Luckily I've got one. What's happening over here? Oh, this is shit show. That's fine. Tall order to ask someone to dig a foxhole under fire. Okay, let's move them. Get down. Get down, get down. Oh, I've got an engineer right here. Smoke, bro. Oh, that's perfect actually, because I can bring in my bazooka bro. Okay. Yeah, bazooka team, go. I'm not concerned about the main point because I can see on the map there's only one tank and it's a light one. Ah, shit. I'm gonna have to drop a smoke there. More smoke. Okay, get up.
Order, sir.
That is A-grade insta-kill bullshit. Get that bazooka, thank you. One, two, three. Back in your hole. Okay. Medic. I want to see if I can rescue the dude who got taken out. Ooh, cutting it fine. Okay, boys back on the quad mount. Get back on that quad mount. Get his RPG. This quad mount's going to come alive now and just shred. Oh crap, he's still there. That's a disaster. Okay, engineer, you're going to have to go and do the work. RPG, bro, I need you to get up there. Ah, shit. We'll get him now. It takes a while to reload. There we go. Although it looks like we're losing, we're actually going to win. Doesn't seem that way. But they don't have much left in the tank and we can win by attrition. Oh, get down. Smoke grenade. Smoke grenade. Get up now, right now, no. Ah, shit. Okay. And a grenade. Okay, that tank is total for now. These guys are just chilling. I'm gonna sneak around and grab that rocket launcher. Where is it? There it is. Oh wait, he's an engineer. He's got TNT. So, there we go. Perfect. I need to get that TNT going. Okay, the tank has been... Sounds like it was taken out. Okay. Yeah, he's dead. Hey, boys, get up. I need you covering fire. Start killing. Okay. Oh, gosh. Medic. Oh, there's a medic. He's still alive. Is that guy still alive? I'm very impressed. I think that's it. I think everything is dead. So, this was tricky. I could have used more smoke grenades. This was short notice, in a sense, that normally I build up to RPGs and everyone gets RPGs at the end of the day. And my vans are jam-packed. I had about a day worth of prep in terms of in-game days to swap equipment. So I just made sure everyone had at least 2 smoke grenades. And I just grabbed 4 M1A1s, which I deemed good enough. They did well, although the AI also has M1A1s, and I only have level 1 defense. So, yeah, they are. Okay, Ernest, Warren. Okay, they're still good. Ultimately, they would only have to work if everything fell apart. So, and they're not getting through that sandbag. Either way, I didn't even check. So they wouldn't have been doing much. In future, just a tidbit, if sandbags are giving you problems, just move your guys a bit forward so the gun can poke through. I didn't notice this before, but it's good enough. And that solves the sandbag issue for largely forever in my books. And is our Panzer nest still alive? Yeah. It got... Did it get any kills? Oh, it got 39 kills. And I think I've only used it once. Oh, of course. Look at all of this. Yeah, the Panzer... Panzer nest did a lot of work. Yeah. Cool, that's the mission done. So I'm going to salvage and I'll be back in a second. But the salvage has been done and something unfortunate happened. We lost an engineer when collecting this, the SDK 251 with a mortar in the back. So these are actually pretty cool. But when I went to collect this, a Puck 5 centimeter or Puck 38 was lurking in the fog of war and took out the engineer. So I had to sort this out with a grenade and took it over. We got 2 KP3s, 2 KP2s, a 38T, a Marder 2. So Marder 2's effectively got a Puck 40 in it. We got a scout car and then an Opel Blitz and a motorbike. So we'll probably sell all of that. Lost the quad mount, so this was what I was referring to when I said quad mounts are great, but you got to position them. Now, to be fair to the quad mount, I did put in a pretty crap position. It's quite exposed, but I don't have anywhere to hide it really. So the ideal place is to put them in the bush and have infantry come in range and then switch it on. And that's what I usually do, and then it works out really, really well. It's also got a range of 140 meters, so it's further than the regular 120 meters that the Brownings come with. I think he did all of this. And then as far as this goes, the hill idea, I would probably do it again. I think it was optimum. My only thing was I didn't have enough smoke grenades. So because I said I only had a day to prep, I didn't get enough smoke grenades for everyone. I should have double overcharged. And that was my only worry about this, was I was going to run out of smoke grenades. And we took early losses here. These foxholes collapsed when our M1A1 bazooka team got wiped out. That's why we had a backup here, just in case. So let's go have a look at the performance, and then I'll look at some comments. All right, we lost 11 men. It says 16, but we raised 5 of them. And yeah, that's a good outcome. I'm quite happy with that, given the nature of this map. So I'm very happy with 10. I can get a lot worse. Yeah, we've got 6 vehicle kills. And the defenders got 4. So they did actually carry some of the burden. And then we lost a vehicle. That was probably our quad. But, I mean, we rezzed it and got it working again. All right, the top units were the anti-tank infantry. This is our bazooka team. Got 3 vehicle kills and 9 infantry kills. Browning M2HB. That is probably those 2 couples that were sitting on the... Where was it they were coming from? It was that sort of quiet area where it seemed unassuming. Yeah, it's the same. It's another unit, another anti-tank unit. He did so well, he actually upgraded. He leveled up, and that's what makes him a veteran, I think. Yes. And he got 2 vehicle kills. So the vehicle kills, I did see some grenades, but those were AP grenades. The 6 of the 5 vehicle kills were shared amongst these 2 units here. So that's pretty cool. I think this is a duo. I could be mistaken. This board can be a bit tricky to decode. And that's the unit performances. I'll pull up some comments now. Alright, the channel's at 300 subscribers, partly why I was motivated to do this video. I clicked over about 2 or 3 days ago, so not too long ago. It was 200 subscribers. So thank you all very much for this, the engagement and subscribing and watching and liking and engaging. It's been a really interesting 4 months. At the moment I've had to ease off on the tutorials and the weapons test videos because they require a bit more time, and I kind of need my weekends at the moment for something else. But I'll get back to what I was doing closer towards the end of the year. I am recording little bits here and there, like trying to accrue things over time so that I can compile it all in a single go, so it's a lot quicker. So I've just had to change my work a bit, and it just means the sorts of every fortnight videos are going to take a bit longer. In the meantime, I've put more effort into the playthrough stuff, which is why the editing seems to be a little bit more improved. Also, it's evolving as I'm figuring out and developing my tool set. So, Bra7895, there was a video recently about 2 weeks ago, I think, called Where to Shoot Tanks. I thought of you when that was put together. It wasn't, say, comprehensive. It was at the very least for the German tanks and the Soviet tanks that you're likely to encounter in a playthrough. At some point, I'll come back around and do something a bit more rigorous, but it'll have to do for now. And that video is the best I could do. So thanks for the question and the comment. The next comment was from Kriegsmoskar7863. And next, the Wespe. He's referring to weapons test for the Wespe. I did a very small segment on the Wespe in the Germany Day 3 Conquest campaign tips. It's somewhere in the middle of the video, and it's a very brief history on the Wespe. I didn't do a weapons test on it. It's a 105, I think it's 105 millimeter gun. Very basic self-propelled artillery. Great little gun. If you're playing Germany, get it. It's relatively cheap, and it's very convenient to drive your artillery around rather than having to haul it around. I'll come back around to do something specific for heavy HE shells in the future, but I'll do a couple of things, including the Wespe. So thank you for the comment. Scott Tyrez 2719. How did you get the first-person view for your standard soldier? I only get it for snipers or tanks. And to answer that question, there's a mod called First-Person View Only in the Steam Workshop. So just be wary of that. There's 2 versions of this first-person view mod because it's so popular. And one of them is basically ups your accuracy to 100%. So be careful, unless you want that, but I only use that version when I do weapons test videos because I need the shot to go off. But in-game, my playthroughs, I use the BFP 1.6 only. In other words, I don't have the accuracy buff. So that's how you can get first person in the game. This is a comment from Walking Dead 4. I stumbled across your channel the other day looking for some new Conquest series, and I have to say this might be my new favorite channel for this game. I don't know how to describe your editing style other than it's so dang sexy. I've not seen this much work put into making campaigns informative and immersive with just the right amount of editing. I appreciate the love of the individual units and for showing off a different style to play to make every unit matter and to get the most out of them. I look forward to your new series, and I'm going back to watch your older ones. Please keep it up. Much love. Thank you very much for that. I really enjoy the editing part. I think that translates, and that rather than just, do a contiguous long recording, I try to emphasize what I'm seeing so you see it as well. That's hence why there's a vivid nature to what you're seeing. It's if I'm saying or I'm looking at something on screen, I try to make it apparent to the viewer, and I do that generally these days across multiple games. I can see what I'm shooting at, but you cannot necessarily see what I'm shooting at, so I'll try to make that as clear as possible. I like making these sorts of things quite interesting, and that's part of the fun for me. As I've said, I enjoy the editing. So thank you very much for the comment. There was another follow-up question to that, and that was referring to what my setup is. What is my rig? And my GPU is a 4070 Ti Super, 16 gigs, and my CPU is a Ryzen 7 7800 X3D 8 core. My settings are largely, they change, but I tend to, when you're watching the playthroughs, I tend to have everything almost at ultra, except for textures and a few other things that are not necessarily noticeable. And then for illustrative functions and videos, I crank everything to max. As far as shaders, and I used to use a shader, but it actually blew the highlights out and it was problematic, so I turned it off. I found Ostfront's natural lighting and effects to be sufficient. Sorry, that was quite a lengthy one. Thank you very much for the comment, Walking Dead 4. I appreciate the engagement. Thank you for subscribing as well. So I'll be doing more infantry stuff in the coming weeks. Thank you, Richard Walker 2476. I didn't think about that until you mentioned it. So thank you for that. It's in the day 10 for America. The Puck 40 and given it was the last day, I sort of splurged out a bit. However, the tanks on day 9, yeah, I did feel a pinch when I used them, but it was the series that campaign or that conquest was coming to a close. So I thought I'd just go all out on tanks because the series was coming to an end. Hence why I chose to pull out the GMCs and the M4A3 76W, and so I pulled out the tanks. On the last day 10, I had a Puck 40 and I had an 88mm AA gun, the German 88. Those are salvage, so I think that was more in line, more acceptable, but I think it was the tanks that was probably spurred that on. As far as the art goes, thank you very much. That's the editing. And as far as the music, this is FYI, all the music on this channel is mine. So that is, it's old music or recently composed music on my upright and my cello and my studio. So I have a studio within reach, and all that music stuff that you hear, the weird music, that's all my stuff. I used it initially because my first Ostfront video had the game's music in it, and I got copyright struck, and I thought, to hell with that. So I turfed the in-game music, and this is not Bobwire Studio, it's just YouTube's bot system coming to collect. It's got nothing to do with them. So just to avoid trouble, I switch all in-game music, and luckily I can use my own. So that's all my stuff playing in the background. If it sounds weird, well, that's you can blame me. This was a recent comment by mnumka1311. I really enjoy the way you made this video. The talk and the history about the S-Mine was also something I would not expect in this kind of video. Thank you. They are referring to the Day 2 Germany defense tutorial where I do a little segment in the middle about the S-Mine. And I did that because although I used a lot of S-Mines in defenses, they were horrific. They were evil bastards. The S-Mine is quite a monstrous piece of equipment. It was effective. Thank you for the comment, and I appreciate that you took the time and enjoyed that segment. I did it because I don't think people realize what an ugly piece of equipment that thing is, and I needed to emphasize that while I had the chance in that video, given I was playfully using them in bulk. Again, thank you. Comment from Noah Cardenas K1E-K1E. Another excellent video, comrade. Thank you, comrade. What are your thoughts on the AI in Conquest? And sometimes I hope the dev team works on it more. I've thought about this for some time and I haven't necessarily formed a solid opinion, but I think the AI is good enough. It's your own friendly AI that can be a problem. So all you can really do is manage that as best you can as the player. The enemy AI is sufficient. Just run at you and complicate your situation and try to micromanage and react to what the enemy is doing. That's good enough in that sense, but as far as your own AI goes, no, you can't necessarily rely on them. And so it's up to you, really, in terms of your decision making. Now, there are tools at your disposal to reduce the cone of your micromanagement, which is why I use a lot of engineers. I cannot manage a wide front. So what do? Well, I shrink that front and I set up tank traps everywhere and try to micromanage as best I can using mines. No, those are my improvised and hodgepodge of thoughts on the AI. Just Astal commented, watch most of your playthroughs without dropping a comment. I'm a newish player and that was a very informative video. Thank you for your efforts. I'm looking forward to more content from you. Thank you, Just Astal. He's responding to where to shoot tanks. So my content tends to almost have like a beginner view. It's aimed a little bit at beginners, but not intentionally so. So as I said, the channel was started for a handful of people who don't necessarily play these games. And so I tend to speak as if I'm speaking to them. And that happens to be conducive for new players. I'm glad that you found the video useful and the content and the playthroughs helpful. It's what I would imagine wanting to see as well if I had started playing this game all over again. Thank you very much. And yep, there'll be more content to come. This is from GBA2129. At 1418, the 254 kills for the KV1 is his kills all time, not just this game. I don't know why sometimes it shows this and sometimes only the kills this game. Thank you very much for the comment. This is the comment that made me realize that kills on the final performance screen are actually accumulative through the entire campaign, largely rendering that last screen a little bit null in the context of the round that's just transpired. If there are any other things that I do that are incorrect in the context of Ostfront or in general, you're absolutely welcome to point them out. It helps me and it helps those who watch the videos. I don't like to perpetuate bad information. So thank you again for the comment. The other thing I wanted to point out is that there's been an update to the Infantry Explorer, Tonk's Premium Infantry Explorer. And that is I've added more nodes, more icons, more everything. I've also color-coded the health. And I've also added the extra ammo that a unit might carry just to break the groups up. Any AT grenades the unit might have. And then there's also this nifty drag and move function. So if you use this on a phone, although I highly doubt that, but if you're on a smoke break or in the toilet, sorry, I can't say that seriously. If you're at work or you're on the bus or the train, you can peruse this on your phone. And last but not least, I've added all the nations. So we've got the USA, America are here now. They've arrived on the scene. I've added Finland. They're also here. I've added the Commonwealth. The Brits have landed with their 303s and their lack of smoke grenades. They don't have a lot of smoke grenades, I've learned. So all of that information is here for convenience, and you can access it at the URL in the description below. If you'd like to see something else on Tonk's Premium Infantry Explorer, drop a comment or reach out and I can address it. So if you've made it this far, thank you all very much. I appreciate the comments and the likes and the subscribes. I will see you all again soon. Cheers.